Hello again, everyone. I am Psychic Liz Cross from psychiclizcross.com, and back with more information is Mr. Photon. Thank you, Mr. Photon, for being here. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Liz.
Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh, why wouldn't we? We'd be a fool not to. What do you have for us today?
So I wanted to talk about something that was in the news cycle a few weeks ago in terms of like trading and cryptocurrency and Forex and the markets. So there was a scandal that happened at a firm, a Forex firm in Canada called My Forex Funds. And it was actually a $300 million Ponzi scheme owned by one person. And this company was basically funding traders to go on and trade the Forex market, which is the foreign exchange with currencies trading back and forth. They would have people take a test, which they would pay for, sometimes like $1,000. And if they passed the test, then they would be funded with these accounts that were worth, hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to trade for their company, right? If they could prove themselves as profitable traders. That's actually not what was going on. What was actually happening is they were collecting the fees that they charged people, and then they were paying off the new customers that were coming in and the people that made money on their artificial trading system. So they were claiming that the traders were trading with real money on the stock exchange, on the Forex markets, but in fact, it was just an artificial computer generated chart that they were actually making dollars in, and they were paid off in a percentage of how much money they could make the company. However, it wasn't real money. It was just them paying off them and the new, entries that were coming in, right? And so how they were doing that is they couldn't have people win too often. So on the back end of the software, they were actually liquidating their traders when they would get too good. It's almost like being at a casino and you're beating the house and they're coming in with they're bringing in the next dealer to kind of shut you down. And if you keep winning, they're going to drag you out and throw you at the front door, right?
Oh my God.
So, there's always been kind of like suspicions among traders that because you're operating on people's platforms and they can see everything that's going on, they can manipulate things that would stop the companies from making you money. So I wanted to investigate this a little bit further. So on the screen, I believe we have My Forex Funds. We know that's kind of a scam. I wanted to explore like some of even the traditional brokers that people use. So this is an example of Forex.com is like a registered, regulated company that is a broker. That's an actual broker that allows you to trade on the stock market and on the Forex market. I wonder if you can grab Forex.com and ask, is there any funny business going on back there? Are they, when people trade, are they activating people's stop losses and liquidating their accounts on purpose?
So I'm probing Forex. Okay. I've got Forex as an entity, and the question would be,
Are they on the back end manipulating stop losses and liquidating their traders when they do too well?
yes.
Wow.
Yes, they
Now,
are. Yes, they are, because they don't want to lose money.
right. And I
I
believe,
don't know how they would lose money by someone doing well.
well, they have to pay them out. And also I believe the market makers make money when they're liquidated. So, if you get your account liquidated, you have to pay extra fees, I believe. And so what that means is people are taking leveraged positions, meaning they're borrowing money from these brokers. So let's say like I have $1,000 account. Well, these guys might let me trade on collateral that 1,000. I put up that $1,000, and they're going to give me $10,000 of real money. And if the trade goes against me too much, they get to collect my $1,000 plus fees, right? So
Mm.
So there is like an incentive in some ways. And I may have this, somebody out there may, call me out and may not be 100% correct, but that's kind of my understanding of how it works.
Wow.
So I can see how there's different ways where they might be incentivized to do funny business on the back end. Now, this is a registered place, so it's like considered one of the more safer places to use. I'm going to look at now. This is a similar to one to the Ponzi scheme one that we saw, where it's like they're not registered, but they're a prop firm where you pass a test and basically you become funded by them. Are they also engaging in the same practices where they will unscrupulously liquidate their clients? This is called the fundedtrader.com.
Fundedtrader.com. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So this seems to be a common thing. I want you to pull in a really reputable one, and that I think most people use this in the United States. It's called TD Ameritrade.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know TD Ameritrade. Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to know the people that are trading their, the the indices and the forex markets on their platform. Are they also doing unscrupulous things in the background by liquidating their clients when they do too well?
No.
Okay. All right. So there is some hope in the world here.
Oh God.
Now, I figured these guys would be the safest ones, right? And that's kind of what they're known for. Like these guys, I don't see how they would be able to get away with it. But some of these other companies that just they are even regulated. Like the first one, the forex funds, it is technically regulated, but I mean, how deep is someone looking over their shoulder and making sure, looking at the people that are handling the software? I can't imagine it's too tight. So that's good. The next thing that I want to look into is in the crypto market. So we're gonna pull in Binance.
Okay.
So on Binance, it's kind of the same model where you can buy Bitcoin for spot, meaning that you come in there and you purchase it with dollars and you would own that Bitcoin, whatever that means on Binance, right? You're buying the Bitcoin and you could withdraw it or you could put it into your own wallet, but you can trade it on there as well. And they'll offer you a specific amount of leverage. Again, if you had $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, they might give you 10x leverage, which means they will loan you the $10,000 and you can trade with that. And you have the same risk is that if your trade goes against you too much, you will be liquidated, meaning that they take your entire account and any fees associated with doing that. So can we find out if Binance in the background is purposely liquidating people's accounts when they are doing too well?
No.
Really? Okay. Can they, and I know you may not understand this terminology, but there's something called a stop loss. And that's where you would put this, like say you take a trade and you're thinking it's going to go up and you put a stop loss in the other direction just in case it goes against you so you don't lose all your money. Like it stops you out before you lose more money. Mm-hmm. So these stop losses, theoretically, what people theorize is that while Binance, since they run this software, they can see where everybody's stop loss is, right? So are they triggering people's stop losses because they can see them and collecting fees off that?
Because you can see them and you're collecting fees. Yes.
Right. Okay. I think this is more what I was getting at. So there are market makers in crypto and in the traditional markets that provide liquidity in order for people to trade. So in order for people to trade anything, you need a buyer and a seller. And sometimes there aren't always equal buyers and sellers. So you have these big institutions or whales that will come in and they will provide the liquidity so that we can have a big order book of buys and sells outside of just me and you being there, trying to buy and sell. And they're incentivized when they collect fees and on people actually losing money, because when those stop losses get hit, they actually gain to benefit there. And so these market makers could be Binance themselves. They could be large whales. Are they actively trading against people and knowing where their stop loss is and liquidating them?
Sometimes, yes.
Right. So this is the kind of risk that not when you're trading in the market, you have a lot of risks. There's not many people that are successful as day traders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to anticipate the market is very difficult. But you also have now this other difficulty, which is you have Binance themselves and these big whale market makers, they're actively trying to take you out of your position because they stand to benefit from that. So
Wow.
so this is, and people can't necessarily prove that that's always the case because we can't see what's going on in the background. But that's an added hazard if you're going to be a day trader.
Wow.
So now that we've established that, I would like to look at something I found along the way in my research. This company called Break Free Trading. They use a trading bot. And the bot, what it's supposed to do is trade with those people that are trying to liquidate your account, right? Because those people are trading against you in order to liquidate you so they can collect the fees. So if you can trade with their algorithm, then you can be successful most of the time. You're not being hunted by these market makers. So I want you to pull in the creator of this, and his name is Asger Emborg. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Okay. Can you pause his video, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Just because copyright. So Asger Emborg, that's not his real name.
Okay. That's not a good sign right off the bat. So he's claimed
this guy here, is your name Asger? Yes. Is your surname Emborg? No.
okay, so at least half of it's correct. Maybe he's just trying to, not everybody wants to dox themselves on the internet.
No.
So he's claimed that he's created a trading bot that basically trades with these algorithms that are hunting people's stop losses. Can you ask him if he has a legit product that is profitable?
Do you have a legit? Yes. And his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions? Yes.
Okay. And so he believes that he has a trading bot that would he say that it's more than 80% a success rate?
Would you say trading more than 80% success rate? No.
What is
more 65-70.
65-70? Okay. And
which
so
is still good.
which is actually really good still. I've never used this before. I just kind of came across him because he was extremely negative towards these companies and their practices, which we've just probed. And he was basically selling a product saying that this product actually can beat their systems, right? Because it's trading with their systems, essentially. It's identifying their moves before they make them. So can you ask him if he has any, we're asking his higher self, obviously, is there any unscrupulous practices that he's doing here, or is he selling what he believes to be a legit product?
No, are you legit? 100% legit, he says.
Interesting. Okay. Well, this is something that I would like to investigate more because, I've been involved with there's a lot of trading bots you can get involved with in a lot of companies, but most of them have not been, they have not panned out. And so I'm always looking for something that may be the real deal in this respect. And this guy interested me because he actually understands these market makers and how they're actually, trading against every day trader out there. And so he's just trying to move with that wave. And I actually know someone else that does this manually, and I actually respect him. His name is ICT, Inner Circle Trading. You can find him on Twitter and YouTube, and he actually does this manually. But it would be nice if we had a trading bot that we could just turn on, and we didn't have to know how to trade necessarily. It could work for us. So it's something I want to investigate a little bit more now that we know that he has good intentions behind his technology.
I've heard of Inner Circle Trading many times before. What exactly do they do?
So it's a man who has a specific trading strategy that he's developed over the last 30 years. And basically, he is aware of these algorithms that trade against everybody in the market and look to liquidate their position. And he's basically identified the patterns of the algorithm. And these certain patterns play out over and over and over again. And if you learn the patterns, you can just roll with that wave. And what this trading bot that we just viewed, it's supposed to do the same thing, but automatically, so that you don't have to, spend hours and hours and hours in front of the charts doing that.
Okay. So the Inner Circle Trading goes against the normal traders. So he's on the side of the big whales or the companies that are trying to liquidate the small traders.
Exactly. He's identifying their patterns and then trading with them. So what have we learned today? We've learned that, something like TD Ameritrade is legitimate. And some of these, Forex companies like My Forex Fund and the other ones, you have to be very cautious because they are definitely manipulating things in the background. There's, if you get too good, they will take you out. And then we've also learned that the major cryptocurrency exchanges like Binance, they also engage in kind of similar practices. And there's two things that we know, ICT and now this trading bot, that may be kind of a resolution to that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more research on this, and I might be something that I recommend to people if it is something I can try out and be successful with myself. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a scam because there's so many out there.
So what is the starting cost? Because usually they have an initial.
I believe he offers like a 30-day free trial or a 15-day free trial to use the software, and then going forward, I believe there's different brackets. I think it might be like one of them is like $70 a month or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I looked at the notes for this pro, because I created it a few months ago. Let's see here if we can pull it up. Yeah, it's it's going to be a monthly cost, but if you're able to make what he's saying, on a daily basis, I think you have to. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Actually, so a 7 days plan, it's $70 a week, and you get 10% of the profits. Yeah, yearly is $2,500.
Now $70 a week.
Yeah, now you have to understand, someone that's using a trading platform. I mean, if you're 60 to 70% successful, and you're using leverage, which is very dangerous to use. I mean, you could make thousands of dollars a week by using this trading bot, right? If you know what you're doing. So it's like, I understand why they're charging that much for it, because if you're an actual day trader and you know how to use leverage, I mean, you can make thousands and thousands of dollars. You do have to know what you're doing. So someone walking in off the street who has no idea about this stuff, you have to be cautious about it and learn how to, operate this stuff. But yeah, I do see where his price point lies, because his clients that are coming here are day traders.
Okay, so let's ask this question. If we put $1,000 in as initial investment and we continued to put in $70 a week for a month, would we make money? I don't feel like we would make a lot of money.
How much would you have to put in order to? Because most traders, like, their account sizes in the traditional markets are at least $10,000.
Yeah, they are. So say we had a spare 10 grand and we put $10,000 in plus $70 a week for a month. Would we make a lot of money? We might make $1,000, which is basically what he says here. I think that aligns with what he says.
Right. Yeah. And so that's per week, you said?
Would it be $1,000 per week? No, per month.
Per month. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a way to, day trade, but not have to day trade, essentially. And you would need a lot of capital to be profitable with his plan. So, maybe not for the average person, maybe crypto's the better move. But if you were, operating in the traditional markets and you had, large sums of money, this might be something that, would be attractive to you, where it's hands off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Wow. And but the problem is with these things, they tend to be like here today, gone tomorrow. How long has this been in motion?
Probably not long. I don't think it's been around that long. That's true.
Okay.
However, however, you're not giving your money to this platform, right? That's the thing is you're paying for the monthly access to the software, but you're actually trading through your own broker or cryptocurrency exchange.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they're just telling you what the moves are.
Well, it's a piece of software that you would run to basically, yes, either automate the trading for you, or you can use it manually and it'll identify the patterns to follow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. And I know there's a lot of scams out there that, I see them all the time where it's like, oh, we'll invest your money and trade it for you. And we'll give you like, whatever it is, 2% a day or 10% a week or something like that. There's a million of those out there. And they're just absolute scams. But this doesn't seem to be that model. A lot of them are like pyramid or multi-level marketing type things.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I want our audience to know that when they are attempting to day trade out there on these various exchanges, there's a risk out there that their stop losses can be triggered and liquidated when they're using leverage. So that's why just if you're investing in cryptocurrency, if you don't know what you're doing, it's best to just buy it and hold it for a long time, through the cycle. And so hopefully this is eye opening for anybody that had illusions of going out there and being a day trader and not really knowing what they're doing, because they're the house is working against you.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it interesting though? Whenever we do probes about money, a lot of times a pyramid pops up. Even on the US dollar, there's a pyramid.
Yeah.
And when we were doing the manifestation probes, and we still are, you wouldn't believe the stuff we're doing now. But anyway, um, we're trying to unlock the code to be able to manifest. Manifesting doesn't work a lot of times because it is so complex. You can't possibly understand why it's not working for you. But then in one of the probes, we got through the pyramid and then we did a whole explanation about why pyramid represents money, financial independence, where we are. Each one of us has a level on the pyramid structure. It's like a fixed seat. Are we going to move up? Are we going to move down? It's really interesting. That was an amazing probe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is this one?
So I just wanted to up on this. So this is what is called a decentralized exchange, where it's the alternative to something like Binance, which is a centralized exchange, that's owned by a company and everything's kind of going on behind the doors. With a centralized exchange, it's run by obviously the company that launched it, but the liquidity is all added by users. So if in this case, the users can deposit their crypto and then they're paid a fee to provide liquidity, and it's all decentralized. So the people that collect you can still get liquidated on here if you use leverage, but the users are collecting those fees, not the company themselves. So this is kind of an alternative way to keep everything, let's say, on the books. So can you pull in Hyperliquid as it's a decentralized exchange?
Okay, yeah.
And so is there any funny business going on in the background where there's people intentionally going and liquidating traders and making money off it outside of their their clientele.
Liquidating traders. No, I
Yeah.
have a bad feeling about this place.
Mm, really, this is brand new stuff.
Okay.
Now,
It,
what kind of bad feeling are you getting about it?
it's a scam.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
They're going to steal your money.
Okay. And so how are they stealing your money when you put the money onto the exchange? They're just going to one day disappear?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's that's the risk of using these brand new technologies. This thing actually just came out.
Wow.
Um, yeah, okay. So the other one I was going to look at is another example. So of a decentralized trading system. It's called famous.io, and it actually is on the Pulse chain. And it's about to launch in, I believe, the next couple of days. Right now, they have a test net on where you can go use it before it launches to test it out. I want you to pull in famous.io,
Okay.
and I want you to ask them if there's any sort of funny business going on in the background where the company themselves will be looking to liquidate traders that are doing too well or hunting their stop losses.
Trader stop losses. No. Are you
Okay.
trying to liquidate traders? No.
And so there's no do they seem to be a reputable company that's, going to be around for a while? They're not going to disappear with your money like the last one?
Do you have intentions of sticking around for a long time? No.
Hmm. Okay, so what's happening that they're not going to be around for a long time? Are they not popular enough? They're not
Um,
users?
I think they're gonna run away with some money.
Really? Okay. Okay. So again, new technology. We got to be very careful with this stuff. So this one actually hasn't even been released yet. So that's good to know. So people can kind of stay away from that. Okay. Well, I think that about does it for my probe. I mean, what have we learned here? That the trading world is a cutthroat business,
Well,
which
yeah,
people
I
don't
mean,
know.
I never even knew that they would purposefully liquidate traders.
Yeah.
Never in a million years would I have ever suspected that. And I'm sure most people listening probably never knew that.
Yeah, there has been suspicions, in the trading community that this does go on, but it's hard to prove.
Mm.
All right, Liz. Well, I
Well,
think we can wrap this one up.
very interesting, though. I learned a lot. So thank you so much. Again, guys, just to show your appreciation, please look at Mr. Photon's tip jar down there. Give him a little tip, buy him a coffee, buy him a lunch, whatever. But please be generous. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.